keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. Against the background of severe decline in several key sectors, the Ministry of Finance said in its mid-year report that Guyana's economy grew by an estimated 36.4%, mainly on the back of the nascent oil and gas sector, as well as some successes in the services and other crop sectors. The document, released on Saturday, also revealed that several other key sectors of the economy contracted, with sugar, for example, dropping back by over 50% when compared with the same period in 2021. But the government report noted that the non-oil economy was estimated to have grown by 8.3%. Moreover, it predicts overall GDP growth of 56% this year, with non-oil growth reaching 9.6% by year-end. In her latest assessment of the PPPC administration's management of the oil industry, international lawyer Melinda Janke said she is left to conclude that the government is walking in the footsteps of its predecessor, the APNU-AFC faction, which made huge blunders with the sector. Janke is of the firm conviction that the PPP, which had criticized the opposition for selling out the country's patrimony with the lopsided 2016 Stubber Block production sharing agreement, is now guilty of selling out the country's future by doing nothing to correct the exploitative deal. And the scheduled 12 p.m. reopening of the Demerara Harbor Bridge was on Sunday stalled for over 5 hours after a barge that was crossing during the retraction crashed into the floating structure. A report from the Demerara Harbor Bridge Corporation explained that a vessel named Desal 1 was pulling two tugs, Alpha 1 and Chaka, when it hit retractor span 9 around 11 hours 31. This caused the span to be pushed out of line, also breaking the connecting end post at span 6 and 7. As a result, no vehicle was allowed onto the bridge out of an abundance of caution, an engineer said, since there was a slight opening at the damaged section of the bridge. And now let's tell you the need for an independent statutory agency that will have extensive regulatory and oversight powers and free from political influence in managing the affairs of Guyana's lucrative oil and gas sector. The Petroleum Commission is becoming even more important as Guyana remains unequipped to adequately govern its offshore resources. Chartered accountant and attorney at law Christopher Ram believes. He weighed in on the importance of the Petroleum Commission in light of ongoing discussions and concerns that have clearly highlighted lapses within the system where the country is unable to efficiently conduct its oil and gas business. Ram said that it is necessary and becomes more urgent by the day to have the Commission, since the danger of not having it is becoming more urgent by the minute. He explained that the Petroleum Commission is one of the key bodies necessary in the local petroleum industry to help Guyana reap the most it could from the oil and gas endowments while ensuring the protection of the environment. And in other news, Venezuelan women living here are subjected to high levels of violence by their Guyanese male partners. Research conducted by the Inter-American Development Bank has found. The research was conducted between 2019 and 2021. The study was conducted so that the IDB can approve funding for Guyana to implement policies and build its capacity to protect the Spanish-speaking women who had migrated to Guyana to escape the hardships of their country. According to the IDB report, Guyana is one of those neighboring countries that Venezuelans have fled to, and based on the research it has done, some 23,310 Venezuelan migrants are living in the country. However, more than half of the 23,000 migrants are women, and they have been on the receiving end of gender-based violence from Guyanese men. Just before we head to a short break, let's tell you that CXC has announced that the results of this year's CAPE, CSEX and Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence examinations will be released online tonight at 6 p.m. Candidates may access their results via the student portal by clicking the link in this newscast description down below. The time is now moved on to 12 hours 10 in Guyana rather. We'll take a short break and return with your news.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered. Digicel, better together.
Right now, children are at an increased risk of sexual abuse, and the perpetrator can be nearer than you think. So stay alert and be aware. Be aware of your neighbors. Be aware of your friends. Be aware of the people you have in your home. Do not become complacent. Protect children now. You can make a report to the police or call the CPA hotline on 227-0979.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let's continue with the news. A 42-year-old man was killed on Saturday in a horrific hit-and-run accident along the Blankenberg public road on the west coast of Demerara. Dead is Azad Khan, a resident of Lot S, Blankenberg, and according to police, he was killed around 19 hours 25 by a black speeding Toyota Allion motor car. Region 3 police have since managed to track down the car and also capture the driver, Vicky Balgobin. Investigators reported that the man they have in custody has admitted to being the one who had struck down Khan and then drove away. Balgobin reportedly told police that he had fled the scene because he had panicked. And a former candidate of the PPPC, Robin Singh, has pointed out that President Ali's hesitancy to grant Police Sergeant Detective Dion Bascom protection can cause an ignorant reaction from the killers of Ricardo Fagundes, popularly known as Paper Shorts. Bascom, a detective who was part of the investigation into the case, has implicated two suspects in Paper Short's murder and had accused his superiors at the police force's Criminal Investigations Department of accepting a bribe to cover it up. Since his public claims, the Guyana Police Force has attacked his credibility as a police officer and called him a liar. Bascom had said that he has evidence to support his claims and is fearful for his life. On August 16th, it was reported that his lawyer, Nigel Hughes, had on his behalf requested protection from the head of state. And the AFC party will be discussing a number of issues with its National Executive Council before certain decisions are taken, namely whether the party will be heading to local government elections with its coalition partner, the APNU, and what moves it will be making in handling the quote-unquote bloated voters list. Jacob says it cannot remove names from the list due to a ruling of the Chief Justice specifying the legal ways that names of voters could be removed. And at this time, we wrap things up with a page 7 of today's Kaieteur News dedicated to being blunt. Guyana faces great danger without Petroleum Commission. It would appear that the current government is picking and choosing which legislation, policies, and institutions it wants to activate within the oil and gas sector. And as crazy as it sounds, this is exactly what is happening. Why has the government enacted the local content legislation and the Natural Resources Fund but has not established the Petroleum Commission aimed at protecting this nation against unscrupulous oil giants? Are citizens to just accept that the government will establish this critical agency when it sees fit? Everyone knows very well that the Commission is one of the main ways that Guyana will not only protect its money from oil as well as its environment, but also ensures that our people benefit from the sector. This administration has promised many times to establish the Commission, but has not done so. It is not as if there is no information available for the agency. A draft was left behind by the last government. The Petroleum Commission will certainly prevent further secret deals and collusion between the politicians and the oil companies. One must not forget that the oil companies played along with former Natural Resources Minister Raffle Trotman in hiding from the public the so-called $18 million signing bonus and the 2016 Stabroek Block production sharing agreement until the former President David Granger was forced to release it. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands.